Feel the pulse, a quiet hum, a steady rhythm like a distant drum. In the darkness, waiting for the sun, a brand new day is yet to come. They build the walls to keep us down, whisper lies all over town. But every seed that hits the ground will break the silence with its sound. I hold this truth inside my hand, and on this solid rock I'll stand. Oh, can you feel the justice rising? Got a new horizon in my soul. Yeah, I got faith, it's multiplying, and it's taking back all the control. This vibration's gonna shake the nation. Let them talk their empty words. My spirit flies on with the birds. Their tangled webs are so absurd. My simple truth will be heard. No, I won't bow, I won't break down. I'm here to claim my righteous crown. Oh, can you feel the justice rising? Justice rising. Got a new horizon in my soul. Yeah, I got faith, it's multiplying. I'm flying, it's multiplying, and it's taking back all the control. This vibration's gonna shake the nation. Justice rising, calling my name. Feel the vibration, feel it deep inside. A new creation, yeah.
From shadows deep, a whisper starts to bloom, a tiny spark defying all the gloom. They said we were too small to eat, to rise. Ignored the fire burning in our eyes. But every root we set, a promise made, a silent strength that never will evade.
tears we cried, the inner strength we held deep down inside. We journeys long but bitter folds across the field. Forever standing tall, banish every fear. We will rise, the phoenix will rise. Our triumph echoes, reaching for the sky. Unstoppable born, eternally we fly.
Brian is innocent. Brian has been essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Brian's innocent. Your Honor, Brian is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.
Well, good morning. Happy Saturday to you and you amazing, beautiful truth seekers and nesters. I'm telling you, it's been a wild ride with the IDAHO4, and today we're going to dive into one of the most biggest unanswered discussion points in the entire University of Idaho murders. Why were both Maddie Mogen and Kaylee found together in Maddie's room on the 3rd floor? And what does the state's own exhibit list reveal about the 3rd floor crime scene analysis? We're not declaring facts that are not proven. We're not accusing random people. What we're doing, Phoenix Talks style, is what we do best. Listen carefully, think critically, and ask the questions many people are too afraid to ask. The state's exhibit list specifically references 3rd floor southeast bedroom, victims in bed, blood transfer, blood spatter, debris, door frame, hallway, landing, and multiple marker locations throughout the 3rd floor. Well, like I said, welcome y'all in. Everyone, come on in, grab your drinks, your coffee, your Saturday morning snack. I'm your host, Phoenix, and this is Phoenix Talks, where we all come together to find truth. So we're going to be talking about one of the most conversations that sits heavy with me. Because no matter what theory somebody believes, no matter where they stand on guilt, innocent, investigation errors, or unanswered questions, 4 young adult people lost their lives. And tonight, we're going to focus on the 3rd floor. Specifically, why were Maddie and Kaylee together in Maddie's room? Was it random, planned, staged, coincidental, comfort, fear, routine, unexpected? Or does the room itself tell a deeper story? Now remember, the state's exhibit list is incredibly revealing because investigators themselves documented exactly what they considered important enough to present at trial. We're going to start to notice some patterns. the landing, the hallway, the bedroom door, the bedroom, the walls, blood transfer, blood splatter. This is not just one paragraph and move on, folks. There are dozens of documented third floor exhibits, and no one's talking about them. We're going to walk through them piece by piece, Phoenix style, of course. Logical, be respectful, be open-minded, no trolling. If you are, keep scrolling. So, like I said, grab your coffee, your snacks, hit that like button, share the stream, and let's go. Eagle eye mode. Let me ask you a question. Do you honestly think that Kaylee was planning to sleep in Maddie's bedroom that night? Or do you think something else caused her to end up there unexpectedly? Drop your comments and your thoughts as I welcome you in. Good to see every single one of you today. Caleb, my trusty mod, giving that warning. Hello, happy Saturday. Peony, good to see you. True Seeker, good morning to you, ma'am. Brenda Frey, good morning. Hello, everyone. Hello, Angelica and just Jackie. Monique, good to see you in the house. We got a lot of OGs in here. Great timing, Birdie to Phoenix. I knew he was doing a live dig. I was in there for about 15 minutes, and then I had to come and prepare a couple more slides. So good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are tuning in from. And speaking of tuning in from, let me just see real quick if I've got a updated map in case we are still looking for faithful viewers, and I think 4 or 5 states. Let me see what my last map was. Our map person in the nest has been on vacation for a few days. So New Mexico, South Dakota, North Dakota, Illinois, Mississippi, Vermont, Maine, and I believe, did we get Rhode Island? Yeah, and we've just added our international map. So, Hawaii, that is the last state we are looking for. So, good morning. It's 10:03 in Arizona. Yes, it is right on time. So, if you are in any of the states that are not represented, let us know. Hola, amigos. I had to grab some water. Good morning, D. Garrison. No coffee, no talkie before coffee. I say no coffee before talkie because I could ramble on. Yes, we do have the trendiest mod squad in the world. We've been saying that for the last, I don't know, 6 months, 6 to 7 months. Yeah, we love this place. Sorry, I'm late. I got coffee. And you're handing out coffee for everyone. Terry Dodd, good morning. Got my lichen, going back to bed. Sleep well. Good. I'm all in the hood. Critter, welcome in. Terry Don, good to see ya. Becky, good to see ya. Flower face. That comment not going upstairs has always stuck in my head. I think he thought it was a rug hit on X because of her mom. Possibly, and I'm glad that you remember that because that is absolutely the video that I am starting with tonight. How ironic is that? Gosh, you guys are way too good. You must like be really watching, paying attention, and I love it. I am so glad you are because important. Please give money when you are able to afford. I usually give big. My lawyer voluntarily gave me information about a judgment I won to Mr. IRS, and they came knocking. What a shockaroo. Holy moly. I'll tell you, if you owe the IRS, they're going to get their money one way or another. Especially if you are retired and getting any type of pension or social security, they are coming. So my contribution to our mods for me are on hold until the Tasmania is done with me. I hear you, the tax man. Hey, Philly girl, good to see ya. Artsy gal, good to see ya. I hear you. I'm telling you, pay the tax man what you owe him, move on, and be done with it. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start with this video, obviously, that we have on hand. And now that somebody said that about Steve G, let's watch. Let me turn it up.
Good evening, America, and welcome to this special edition of Cross Country in Moscow, Idaho. Tonight, we are in front of the Moscow Police Department, and you may be asked,
I don't know why it did that. Let me try once again. There you go.
Good evening, America, and welcome to this special edition of Cross Country in Moscow, Idaho. Tonight, we are in front of the Moscow Police Department, and you may be asking why. It's been about 3 weeks since the horrific stabbing death of 4 college students at the University of Idaho. 3 weeks since we lost Zayna, Maddie, Kaylee, and Ethan. 3 weeks, and still the police have no suspect or person of interest. The community has been left in limbo, left with more confusion and more questions. We are on the hunt for answers for them. Moscow deserves answers. The students of the university deserve answers. These 4 young innocent victims deserve answers, and so do their families. So let's start there. Joining me now on set, Gonzalez. Thank y'all so much for being with me. You guys have been so transparent and strong for the public. Christy, you called the person that did this the boogeyman.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that?
It's literally like what nightmares are made of. Like when you're a little kid and you think of the boogeyman, that's just how I feel. Like that's just the horrific details of everything. Them just having a good time, going home and going to bed, and this happening to them.
Your best friend crawling into bed.
Just crawling in bed.
Every
and
girl
the
in
boogeyman
America
comes.
knows what that's
The
like.
boogeyman doesn't, meet you at McDonald's. I mean, the boogeyman comes and snatches you out of your bedroom.
Good evening, America, and welcome.
Why did they say that? The boogeyman comes and snatches you out of your bedroom. That's exactly what Steve G said. Why would he say something of that nature? Such a weird thing to say. I agree. So odd. The boogeyman comes and snatches you out of your bed. Well, we know they weren't sleeping by the timeline that we've shared from the broken plea and the videos that we've been watching. So let's for just one moment, before we speculate, we need to understand the layout. The state exhibits confirms, this is the list, 3rd floor, west bedroom, Kaylee's room. 3rd floor, southeast bedroom is Maddie's room. But the exhibit list repeatedly separates the 2 rooms. Kaylee's bedroom separately and Maddie's bedroom separately. The hallway separated both of them. You see the stair landing. The bathroom was separate. That means they were carefully tracking movement and scene relationships. Now, this is where things get interesting. The exhibit list specifically references Maddie and Kaylee in bed. And the autopsy reports say supine, that means on their backs. But yet in the broken plea book, it talks about Madison being in the princess pose. So which one is telling the accurate facts? I'm telling you, this IDAHO4 book is trying to stay on the same narrative that they were all stabbed in their beds. But what we're seeing is possibly speculative that they weren't in their beds, because they're still confirming that both victims were together in Maddie's room when this atrocity happened. Now, if Kaylee had her own room nearby, why do you think she ended up in Madison's room? There's a couple possibilities of why they ended up together. So, taking one step back of what we've seen in the rear view camera footage, follow me. There are so many exits within walking distance in this small little area. And I've made this map so you can kind of see a little bit better of what I'm talking about. So the whites are obviously in the white boxes. There are 2 buildings with a walkway right through it. And that walkway leads right into Queen Road. Okay? There's a walkway right in between Taylor and the whites and some other smaller apartments right to Queen Road. You can walk off of Taylor into King into Queen. There's a bunch of cut-throughs. There's a bunch of cut-throughs in the back off of King Road and Walenta Road, which is not shown, all the way into 1122. There are so many routes to take. You could walk upstairs off of Linda Lane if you cut on Taylor, walk up the stairs up into the back portion of the parking lot for Queen Road, where cars were parked. If there was some type of possible, I didn't mean to do that. If there's some type of possible traffic jam that you see in these new videos, hopefully everybody drop a 1 if you've seen the new videos. Do I need to review that with you? Drop a 1 if you've seen Birdie's new Moscow timed runs with the reflections in the windows of maybe a small little traffic jam that was in between Queen Road and 1122. Because there's a little tiny piece of area here that I want to reference. And that is so important. So if you get a chance, go run over to Birdie. He's got a fabulous video of the timed runs. He's condensed them to where they match up together to the original video that was released from the security cam at 1112, which is in the light blue right here. This is 1122, and this is 500 Queen, Linda Lane 1330 and 1320. So these are the main areas. And then obviously in the orange is AKA said to be the treehouse. And you can actually see the light reflections in the windows as if something was happening right in this little area, in this little triangle area between Queen Road, 1122, 500, the Browns, or, the Queen Road apartments, and the whites. And if that's the case, that would cause some type of traffic jam. If you look right behind the whites, which is the 2 white boxes with the walkthrough, there are parking all up and down here. That you could walk from the treehouse all the way to the Queen Road apartments. You can walk from Taylor Road and this all the way back. There are no gates. There are no fences. There are nothing blocking you and stopping you from every entrance. There was no gates in the back over here off of Walenta walking into this area. Yeah, it is so close. I never knew the treehouse was that close. Right? This big, huge house right here with the tree, right in front of the whites at a catty corner, which I've showed you forever, was said to be the treehouse. That was where people were partying. And this is why I do believe this, that this 1330 and 1320 Linda Lane, you can hear all the noise coming from this area and this partying. All this area was picked up by this one camera. And that is why the sound is better. You get a better quality than this one that was 50 feet away on this security cam facing King Road. So you've got this whole area right here. And if there was anything going on in this road right here or back here in these party zones, you would definitely hear it. Right. The house was way too accessible from all angles. Absolutely. And that is why I did this drawing, to help you understand the closeness of this community. And obviously you walk right across to Taylor and you are at the band field that backs up to all the Greek row. It's the whole row of all the fraternities. Now, mind you, 2 things here that I want to point out. if there was some type of traffic jam right here, because Queen Road is the only way in to all these parking spaces back here and all these parking spaces back here. So if there was a little bit of a traffic jam that was maybe here, something had to have been happening here. I've been busy packing to move. Hey, Gypsy. Hope everything goes well. So if something was happening and there was a traffic jam that was backing up and you can see people park in and stop and see what was going on, I believe, and you know my theory on this, somebody was trying to bring Ethan back and put him in his room. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. And if that was Xana leaving the frat according to the book and according to, see, because here, we know Maddie and Kaylee ended up in their beds together. We know that they were seen on camera last. But we've never known about Xana and Ethan and where their whereabouts were. And that's the big mystery. So if they had passed earlier and they were trying to bring them back to the Queen Road address and get them off campus, then perhaps they did come by car. And they did have to drop Ethan off. And if Xana didn't know where Ethan was, this is speculation, Xana probably got to the house as soon as she could and she saw what was going on outside. I've always said something happened outside. Don't worry about Taco Bell. All right? Jill, you're eating Taco Bell. I was saying, don't worry about Taco Bell. I think that was all staged in the room. Don't think about that for a minute. This area, something was going on because the sound at 1122 wasn't coming from inside the house, in my opinion. It was coming from down the street. Down the street, folks. Either here or in this area where there were no cameras. Absolutely in this area, Queen Road, in this little area back here in parking. Now, when I say that, I want to go into why we need to think about this logically. So many possible reasons why Maddie and Kaylee were together. Because first you have Dylan saying they were up in the bedroom. Maybe they were. Maybe they were distracting them from what was going on outside. Maybe they had no idea. The girls do definitely come home and change. They definitely come home and change because you see the state's exhibits and you start to see the patterns here. We're going to go through them very easily, very quick. So the state's exhibits tells the story of Maddie and Kaylee together. But how did Maddie and Kaylee get together when in fact we just heard Steve G. Let me see if I can put this back up here without having any problems. Let's see if I can forward
Good evening,
it.
America, and welcome to this special edition of Cross Country in Moscow, Idaho. Tonight, we are in front of the Moscow Police Department, and you may be asking why. It's been about 3 weeks since the horrific stabbing death of 4 college students at the University of Idaho.
Let me see if I can fast forward this just a little bit. Bear with me. I'm trying to get my little finger pointer here. Let's see if I can move it.
3 weeks since we lost Xana, Maddie, Kaylee, and Ethan. 3 weeks, and still the police have no suspect or person of interest. The community has been left in limbo, left with more confusion and more questions. We are on the hunt for answers for them. Moscow.
It is not letting me go forward. Hold on. Let me go this way. Oh, here we go. I'll just play it in here. It's easier. So I thought. Yeah, it keeps going back. Dang it. I'll get better at this. This is something new for me.
Good evening, America, and welcome to the
All right. You heard him say the boogeyman grabbed you from upstairs. So if there was some type of altercation outside and Maddie and Kaylee ran, that would be the best understanding is they ran to go hide upstairs. Maybe that was the first accessible place that they could get to. All right? Are we all together on this? I just want to make sure when we speculate this, we are all on the same page because I've thought this through and I'm going to give you all the details. So when you start seeing the third floor east bedroom, they say Kaylee and Maddie were together. And then they have close-ups of Kaylee and Maddie in the bed. And then they say third floor west bedroom, Murphy on the bed. They've got pictures of Murphy being on the bed. And then they have third floor west bedroom, kennel. And then third floor west bedroom. Obviously, there's the kennel. And one thing they don't mention in the state's exhibit list is some of the forensics. They have cordially or casually left some important things out that I want to bring to your attention. Forensics went through and they submitted a swab and debris from the floor in the bedroom, F3 bedroom floor. And what was possibly that debris? Well, leaves. Debris, leaves. Remember, trace evidence is fibers or hair, tissue. These were leaves. We've seen a bunch of leaves out front. We've seen a bunch of leaves falling in November. There is even snow around. But one thing, the only thing that I noticed on the floor, other than debris, was blood. And blood is not listed as debris. They simply list it as blood. All right? So keep that in mind as we move forward. And then they see the inner stain, inner edge, third bedroom, and they swab the stain from the third bedroom, lab item 126. Well, I just showed you lab item 4. Keep that in mind. And lab item 126 is submitted swab of stain of east bedroom door on floor 3, marker X. Yeah, but they call hair in Ethan Chapin's hand debris. That is factual evidence, trace evidence. And that's what they called out in the book, trace evidence. So when they go through there and they say the results from presumptive chemical testing performed on 126 right here indicated the presence of blood. Okay? It indicated the presence of blood. We're not talking about floor 2. We're talking just about floor 3 right now, Maddie and Kaylee. There is debris, but there are also some blood stains here also. If you look on the floor right in this area, there are drippings on the door, on the floor, all the way up into the door jamb. You'll see this. Now, in the redacted list that the rebuttal for the experts, item 24 was taken by Forensic Field Services on November 17, 2022, which shows the marker X as the swipe transfer stain at the opening edge of the bedroom indicated by marker X32. You got to go down to the footnotes and it says 32 was the report by Tara Martinez 11 report, which is so important. And I'll get to that later. But continue looking at the third floor evidence, lab item 4, lab item 77, and then a pink laptop MacBook was Kaylee's, and then a Dell third floor laptop listed as Kaylee's. And one thing that I noticed very quickly on this, which is a bombshell fireball. Why was Maddie Mogan's Dell laptop on the first floor bedroom? Was Maddie occupying that first floor bedroom? I mean, I would only leave my laptop where I lived or where I worked or my vehicle. Think about this for a minute, folks. Why would Maddie Mogan's laptop be on the first floor bedroom? That's what it says. Item 49. Let's go to a power dig here. We'll do a live dig, power dig. And it says item 49 was Maddie Mogan's laptop on the first floor bedroom. And item 49, let me grab it. Let's see what the official report said. Item 49. Was Maddie downstairs in that room at one time? Was she working from that room and just left her laptop there? Or was someone using it? Let's see what 49 says. Yep. Dell laptop. Right here, Dell laptop. But it doesn't tell us where they found it. But in the report that I just showed you, man, they let that out. They let it out. First floor bedroom, Madison Mogan. Anything to not point to the actual killers because they were working down there. Did she drink Burnett's too? Ooh, I don't know. But I say busted someone. 50 says it was Bethany's iPad. They did collect that, obviously. All right, so there's one fireball for you. Booty pics, in my humble opinion, says Heart of Gold. How about them feet prints? The feet pictures they were allegedly said to be selling. All right, so let's focus back on the third floor. East bedroom, marker X and stain 48. We'll get into those, but the key to this is seeing how much evidence the state was going to put on the third floor. Was the spare bedroom on the first floor? Sure was. Sure was, Dina cousin. Doesn't surprise me. Not surprises me. This case has new leads every day. I know, it's the case that keeps on giving. She's priceless. Marker X is pretty huge. So we'll talk about Marker X because Marker X close up with the tape measure. Some of these they don't share with us, okay? Some they do, some they don't. So just FYI. East side half wall, second and third floor, L markers M and N and O, and the ceiling outside. They don't show us that, by the way. They don't show us the third floor ceiling. 3 stains. They don't show us the ceilings. Then they show the third floor east bedroom desk and contents. We've seen that. And in case you want to see it, I can just flip on over here and show you some of those pictures. But the main picture, hold on a minute. Desk and contents. This is what, some of this might be graphic. I don't want to get too close into here. They have some desk and contents opened. You kind of get an idea of what they're looking at. I noticed Maddie's books too. I noticed the books in here that she was reading. Desk and contents. I think it's over here. They open it up and they show you all the contents in here. There's the swipe stain that I was talking about earlier. And it basically said that there's no way that Maddie and Kaylee can make that swipe stain while physically moving. There's the desk. There's a pink laptop. Now, this pink pink Apple laptop. Here's something else that never made sense to me. I'll go back and show you. It was said that Kaylee's computer was this Apple pink laptop. Third floor, it says west bedroom, but this is clearly in Maddie's bedroom, folks. I just showed you that. Did Maddie and Kaylee have the same? Did they have the same Apple book? I mean, have we been hoodwinked to believe that all these rooms may have been different? Did they have, let's go over to the other room and see. Did they have Did they have the same laptop? Or why was Kaylee's in Maddie's room? Were they doing some assignments together, or did they switch rooms? Remember, Kaylee was said to be leaving. I don't remember seeing a pink laptop in this room. There's a laptop there, unless they both had the same one. Same kind. Let's just look in Kaylee's room again. Oh, wow. Maybe they did have the same kind. Look at that, 52. Maybe they did have the same kind. Kaylee's color is white. Pink is more for DM. What? Well, there's personal pictures in the room, but they're blacked out. In some of these, they're blacked out, but it looks like Kaylee pretty much cleaned this room out. She's got a pink laptop too. 52. Holy moly. Pink laptop. They don't give it a number. This one said 52, and I don't see a 52. Let's just see. Kaylee's laptop 52 was in her room. But then why did they say the laptop? Well, that is a little weird. Why would they say her laptop was in West was Kaylee? Dell laptop was Maddie's. So whose Apple laptop was in Maddie's room? Silver laptop was Dylan's. Dell laptop, first floor bedroom, was said to be Maddie's. Houston, we have a problem. East bedroom desk and contents. West floor bedroom dresser. Laptop in box, 53, is up in the closet. Computer, 53. Marker, 42. Wow, this is very interesting. So Maddie and Kaylee had the same kind of laptop. If you can ever find info on marker GIH second floor, I'd love to know. I couldn't find it because my iPad kept shutting down when I tried to scroll through the reports. I wonder if it's Xana's blood. Wow. The walls are bare. Good catch. Yeah. Didn't they switch numbers around? Well, they never corrected it in any of the forensics either. Wow. Marker 45, marker King Road computer, marker 53. Hold on a minute. That's 52. That's 53. Okay, so the extreme, this doesn't make sense. This does not make sense, folks. There's a computer here, and they're showing the box, and the computer is under the box. Okay. If Kaylee was said to be moving out, why is her work computer up in a closet? Why is her work computer up in a freaking closet? If you're working and getting paid, wouldn't that be like out and working? Or this was the notebook they pulled down, 53. Wow. I mean, it could be one of those simple things people overlooked, but the state's evidence. Oh, I'm not showing you. I expected you guys to see what I was looking at. This was the notebook that was up in the closet, put away. That was the one where they needed to get the warrants, and they needed to go back and ask Extreme Networks to go to Harvard to get the passcode to get on there. It appears the laptops have been staged. And that is the Extreme Network Notebook 53. If she didn't want to pack and move things twice, and that's why her stuff is still there. Becky, valid point. Should we believe they found things after the sheath incident? No, I agree. We have some doubt. That's why I'm looking at the third floor evidence, and I'm seeing things that don't make sense here either. Nobody thought this through, or whatever was staged is a horrible staging event. There's the desk with all the contents. Pointed all this stuff out before. Stuff that they were packing up and putting away, which is odd that they find a watch in there and they give it to the G's and say, no, let me turn this back into evidence. It might help. Wild. There are pictures, there are some things around, but they just black them out. But most of the pictures that were seen up on the walls, and that has been removed from those walls even before this happened. So I'm sure that she was getting ready to put some things away. Pictures were taken down. Things were cleaned out. Speakers, evidence sheets. There's the debris on the floor yet again. So the debris was not only, let me just take a picture of this. The debris was not only outside of Maddie's room in the bathroom, it was also right there inside of Kaylee's room. But they only listed it as item 4, swab and debris from bedroom floor, F3, third floor. But here we go. There's the debris outside. That debris had to have been brought in from the out, I believe. And so when you look at that and you say, okay, so what were the events that took place to bring in some of this debris? Right? Because the debris is huge. Where did this debris, did the girls bring in the debris? And at what time could they have possibly brought this debris in? So that's where my mind went. And they tested it, and the debris was tested positive for blood. It indicated the presence of blood. So when was this blood found? Before or after the events? They couldn't have been moving because they said clearly Maddie and Kaylee were cleared in this room. But the other thing that's always bothered me in the evidence, that there was debris in Maddie's bed. And that debris, they didn't specify what it was, but if I had to assume that something happened outside with Maddie and Kaylee was hiding in the room, again, because her dad said they were hiding in the room, or paraphrasing the boogeyman, you hide from the boogeyman. Think about that for a minute. So if there was this debris in Maddie's bed at her head, is it possible that maybe something happened to Maddie outside when she was looking for Murphy? Alleged. Was it Maddie that saw what happened to Ethan and not Kaylee? Because if it was Maddie that something was happening outside and she was like, wait, stop, no. Because we still don't know whose voice that was yelling, stop, no. I don't know. Kaylee had an OF2. I wondered if somebody became OF obsessed or somebody within their group knew. Was any blood collected? I didn't see any blood on the solo cups. Once they move evidence to different location, everything could be inadmissible. I agree, Becky. It's so weird we're looking at these pictures like people knew people would be seeing these pictures of their rooms frozen in time. It is sad, Kristen, but remember, we are looking for a little bit of truth here. So if there was debris said to be on, yeah, let me go and grab this so I could show you the debris. I just showed you marker X. And this is what crossed my mind when I found debris spelled out like this. Okay. Observation 8. This was in the redacted exhibits rebuttals from the experts. Observation 8 regarding the screening test concluded on the debris from the third floor bedroom floor is amended to reflect a weekly positive blood test, basically, and when examined at the laboratory. So they said it was weak, okay? But then let's go and look at the references they say about debris. Miss Mogan's left leg is extended from under the bed covers and her left foot is on the floor, as depicted in ISP 4871. So right there, we can debunk, listen to me closely, the book, because this forensic report said from under the bed covers, her left foot is on the floor. That is not a princess pose. That is not a princess pose, folks. Trying to share the narrative that this was now maybe 2 people and this was a serial unaliving. I don't know, but a lot of things don't match up to the book. And the narrative they're still trying to sell us in the book is that both of these 4 were all killed in the house. And we know with the recent development and releasing just of last week of some of these test runs and the original footage, that's probably not what happened. Maybe her hands were absolutely in the princess pose, but her foot, it says it was on the floor, as depicted in a redacted picture we cannot see. A piece of debris is noted on the floor between the left foot of Madison Mogan and the pillow and is indicated by the yellow oval in this picture that we cannot see again. A swabbing of the debris as well as the debris itself was tested for the presumptive presence of blood. The swabbing of this debris yielded a positive presumptive test for blood at the scene, but the test was only in the laboratory as a weak positive. And then it says number 9. And you go down to number 9, and that is the Idaho State Forensic Report 11/19/2022 wilt, which we don't get a copy of that, by the way. That has not been released publicly. So whatever this debris is, whatever the background for the debris, and it doesn't even give a item number of the debris except for the picture, and that was it. So of course, I went through everything possible looking for debris. Trace, nothing. Nothing found in any of these forensic reports. Wild. And that debris to me, to this day, still looks like it was blood on the leaves, which led me to believe this happened outside with at least one of the individuals, that being Maddie Mogan. She was said to be outside looking for Murphy, and there is no indication that she was ever back inside the house. But here we have Steve G. and what he said.
Good evening, America, and welcome to this special edition of Cross Country in Moscow, Idaho. Tonight, we are in front of the Moscow Police Department, and you may be asking why. It's been about 3 weeks since the horrific stabbing death of 4 college students at the University of Idaho. 3 weeks since we lost Zana, Maddie, Kaylee, and Ethan. 3 weeks, and still the police have no suspect or person of interest. The community has been left in limbo, left with more confusion and more questions. We are on the hunt for answers for them. Moscow deserves answers. The students of the university deserve answers. These 4 young innocent victims deserve answers, and so do their families. So let's start there. Joining me now on set, the parents of Kaylee Gonzalez, Christy and Steve Gonzalez. Thank y'all so much for being with me. You guys have been so transparent and strong for the public. Christy, you called the person that did this the boogeyman.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that?
It's literally like what nightmares are made of. Like when you're a little kid and you think of the boogeyman, that's just how I feel. Like that's just the horrific details of everything. Them just having a good time, going home and going to bed, and this happening to them.
Your best friend crawling into bed.
Just crawling in bed,
Every
and
girl
the
in
boogeyman
America
comes.
knows what that's
The
like.
boogeyman doesn't, meet you at McDonald's. I mean, the boogeyman comes and snatches you out of your bedroom.
So there she's talking about the boogeyman. And we have shared before that the book indicated, and let me just show you real quick what we're talking about, the princess pose. This was said to be, hold on, let me move. This was said to be in the princess pose. This was in chapter 3. We went over this. I did a whole live about what a princess pose looks like, and alleged maybe they were trying to say that there was perhaps a serial killer, right? Because then they talked about signature wounds and other things like that. So I think somebody actually put that in here, that there were 2 cuts and this and that. Here it is. Whitcomb was saying they each had 4 of the matching signature wound types. Sort of feels like someone was jealous of Kaylee and Maddie being so close, kind of sort of mocking and matching wounds. And I don't know what, what that was about, but he was saying in the book, The Princess Pose, if you go back and look, it's sometimes in serial killing terms, that perhaps there was some type of ritualistic look to the markings on their bodies. Okay. So that was one of the things that we had talked about before in our book club.
We've been talking, I've been talking to folks in the community. You said something that stuck with me. You said, until this person is caught, you can't sleep in your bed.
No. I can't just lay in my bed and do nothing. That's not the way I raised my family. That's not the way I raised my girls and my son. You don't be a victim. You stand up for yourself and you do everything in your power to make sure people hear you. And they're gonna hear Kaylee. They're gonna hear Maddie. They're gonna hear these.
The other 2 as well.
Yes.
All of them.
I'm careful saying anything about them because I need to be careful because I can't speak on somebody else's child. But these 2 girls, I'm not trying to be a glory hound, but these 2 girls, I'm going to do what I can do, and we're not being victims. We're going to fight. We're going to figure out how to make sure that we hold everybody, accountable, and we keep eyes and attention on this and get this thing resolved.
Steve, you have made it very clear to our audience that you are supportive of law enforcement.
But think about this for a minute, folks. Listen to what Steve and Christy say next, because I believe this was happening to all the families. If alleged, speculative, a huge cover up, they wouldn't give the families any information other than what they went out and found out on their own. Think about this for 1 second when you watch this.
You support the investigation. But recently, I've been watching and talking with you, and you're getting frustrated. What does that frustration come from, sir?
They put certain people between you and the officers that are making things happen, and those people are like lawyers, and they don't want to say anything, and they don't have the guts to come up and be alpha and be like leaders and say, hey, we might say something that's wrong. We're going to take that hit. So the officers, they look me straight in their eyes. The lead detective looked me in his eyes. I have no doubt he's working as hard as he can.
And that would be pain.
But somebody isn't communicating. There's nothing being released. It seems like they're trying to suppress the story.
Of course, they were trying to suppress the story. They didn't want anyone to know what really happened. When, in my opinion, obviously, but when you look at the crime scene photos, and when I start thinking he's pushing the narrative they wanted him to push. You can't have any pushback when this case is so huge, and Steve G could have let the cat out of the bag. But instead of letting the cat out of the bag, he's just going to go along with it and make them pay in the long run for the whole stringing along during this whole entire thing. That's what I think. I mean, you can think what you want, but think about all the families. Think about the Chapins that had to go back and do a second autopsy because they didn't believe what they were telling them. And obviously, you know, Kaylee could have had a second autopsy, but maybe they didn't do it. But when you start looking at the evidence list, they had a picture of Murphy on the bed. And if you go in a little closer to this bed, and that's one of the reasons I made the video I did, that there was blood stains on the bed. So Murphy had to have been on this bed. Murphy had to have been on this bed at one time, soaked or covered in blood. Now, who gave him a haircut or a bath wash? Who washed Murphy? Was it Dylan at 5 o'clock when her Apple Watch started picking up movement? When it said that the barking stopped? Did they bring him inside? Did they wash him in the bottom floor bathroom? I mean, you can see the debris on the floor is very clear. Some of these things don't add up. But of course, Steve G was pushing the narrative. He was pushing the narrative very clear. Now, let's talk about this for a minute. Yes, college girls, if they're going to have a sleepover and friends, they do sleep in the same room, especially after a party, after a night out, after emotional conversations, after drinking, when somebody doesn't want to sleep alone, or simply they were just talking and they passed out. That's completely normal. But investigators and the public naturally focus on this detail because if the killer expected one victim, finding two changes everything. Now, was Kaylee supposed to be there? We've heard rumors that she wasn't. Remember, she was reportedly moving out or was prepared to move. Some reports suggested she was only visiting to go with Dylan to the sorority event. They didn't expect to encounter Kaylee too. Or here's another scenario. Was the third floor always intended to be the destination regardless who was inside? Those are very different scenarios. And let this sink in. Dylan, in her interview statements, said she left Kaylee's door unlocked after she took Murphy outside when she was the first one to return home. Think about it, folks. The exhibit list details that I gave you with all our eagle eyes on them, it's extensive. That's extensive scene mapping. And literally, one exhibit stands out to me, and that is the third floor east bedroom looking west close up of blood splatter. We even see Gunderson. Yes, folks, we even see Gunderson walk through. And what did Gunderson say? What did Gunderson say? If Kaylee made it upstairs, because obviously Kaylee's phone and a vape was under Maddie's bed. Gunderson, does anybody remember what Gunderson says? Let me see if I've got that video once again. Let me see if I've got it. I think this might be Warner's. Hold on. Yeah, that's Warner. That's when he's explaining how many of those people actually live there, even if they're on the lease or not. He added 2 extra people. Were they living in the downstairs bedroom? Let me go grab Gunderson's body cam. I want you to hear this for yourself. Does anybody remember what Gunderson said when he's walking around the scene? This is Connor once again. Thank you, Connor. We love you. We absolutely appreciate everything that he's been putting up for us in the repository. And Gunderson is walking around the crime scene. He has his body cam on. And he says some very interesting comments. So let me grab this. I'll throw it up on the screen and we will begin watching it. Again, this is Connor. This is redacted in the beginning. Let me throw the link down. Total transparency. You can go watch it for yourself. Nothing is edited. Not by me. All right. So what is Gunderson?
Yeah, we got some footprints coming to from the back of the apartment. It looks like. We won't fuck with those. Ryan's taping everything off. Warner's starting a crime log. And that's where we're at so far.
All right, I'm going to...
So that includes the LE going and coming and going too. So, fuck, dude.
Yeah. I just started the actual time.
Gunderson wants him to engage. Did you hear what he said? He said, F, dude. And he responds, yeah.
All right, no, that's fine. Well, so...
Said he got a call about 20 minutes ago from his girlfriend.
All right, I'm going to fast forward this just a little bit. I want it to when he goes upstairs. Come on. I don't want to make you guys dizzy, so let me just get a minute when he goes back upstairs on the 3rd floor. Listen to what Gunderson says. This is interesting.
Room on the left is where the dog is. Ooh, sorry. Let me shut the door to this so that the dog didn't go in there. What? Yeah, we got him. They cleared the house. I didn't clear the house. Good? Yeah, we'll let you get photos first and then we'll clear out him out of here. Huh? Yes. We shut it so it's not.
In the unredacted pictures, there is blood splatter on the outside of the door, on the doorway leading to the bathroom. I've showed you the blood splatter that I think is next to that suitcase on the little bookshelf. There are some other things in this hallway that they're not wanting you to see, but we get to see it later on in unredacted pictures.
It was open. Right.
Did he just open the door with a key?
It was open.
What's in his hand? Did Maddie's door lock on the outside? Maybe it was just, it looked like it was a key. I would have been like, wait a minute, what? So they've redacted the area obviously, where the exhibit list states that there's pictures of stains.
What you needed? Oh. Come here, pup. Hi, puppy. Hi, puppy. Hi, pup. Come on.
Oh, so he's got Murphy's Blue
Good boy.
Leash.
Come on. Come on. You wanna go outside? Come on. Come on. All right, I got the dog. Come on.
Okay, so maybe hold on one second. I know that it's in here. I've heard him say it, and when he says it, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Here it is. I went too far. All right, get ready to listen to what he says.
Cast off, dude.
Dude, that's all cast off, dude. Did you hear him say it? Outside in that hallway. It didn't happen all in the bedroom. And if that was cast off on the third floor landing, like I said, then unfortunately, somebody took the brunt of this, well, maybe running for cover in Maddie's room. And that would have been Kaylee, because they did not find Kaylee's phone until the evidence. The ISP walked in there with all the evidence, and it was found underneath Madison's bed along with the vape. Okay?
Reward posters posted all over when you come and you do your rush. You're not going to get a lot of students if they see those things. But this community is not going to heal until this guy's pulled off the streets. It ain't going to happen. Think it through. It's not going to happen. He has to be off the streets. We all are working for the same thing.
When was the last time y'all heard from the police?
Thursday,
We looked at our phone records. We want to be accurate. We don't want to sell anyone out.
about 3 o'clock on Thursday.
And
Did y'all get an update from the police about the investigation?
There was nothing. We have no updates for you.
There was no update. They
Via
needed me to
text.
sign a waiver form so that they could investigate something
Some mail.
that was
Mail.
male related.
Mail. They didn't say like U.S. mail. Mail. Maybe as in a man. I don't know. But tonight we're not going to recreate the violence of what happened on the third floor. We're just talking about the blood splatter. We're talking about force, motion, impact, movement, dynamics, because we're trying to stay respectful to these families. These families still don't know. The investigators probably never even told them what clearly had happened. But investigators were telling us everything in the forensic evidence and the state's exhibits list, because investigators clearly believed the patterns mattered enough for these trial exhibits that I have shown you. And all I did was go to the exhibits list simply, and bam, typed in third floor, and it gave me all the third floor and everything that I wanted to know and what happened to Maddie and Kaylee. I believe Maddie was placed afterwards. If there was debris on her foot and debris on her bed pillow, I believe Maddie was probably outside, and then they staged them later. But Kaylee obviously was injured while on the third floor landing, and still someone had to clean up. So when you think about Why do you think investigators were trying to prove with all the door frame and hallway exhibits that I showed you? I only showed you a portion of it because I do have a video I'm going to release. I'm just showing you little bits and pieces. You'll get the bigger picture. You might get the bigger picture right now from just what I'm showing you. So, why do you think Maddie's room matters? Because there's another layer to this. If both victims were in Maddie's room, what happened in Kaylee's room? Murphy was on the bed, the kennel was open. Dylan had said she took Murphy out when she got back. She didn't lock the sliding door. Kaylee's room was photographed separately. That suggests investigators considered Kaylee's room important enough to photo and make notes. Do y'all remember the handmade notes that Talbot I showed you the other day that he wrote in the file? Do you guys remember those notes that I showed you? I should have included this on this live, but let me go grab one of them, and you can actually see his handwritten notes right here. It said, Amino black, east bedroom threshold, doorknob, later due to discussion. Hold on a minute. That is not it. Let me see if I still have it in my queue. I hope so, because this was so important. Something someone overlooked. Here it is. Let's hope that this is it. These are kind of tiny, but let's see if it loads. Is this it? Bedroom, third floor, windows, hallway, sliding door. Bedroom. Okay, that's not it because it was locked after they secured the scene. Hold on. And if I don't find it, you know that I'll always make a post and I'll show you the receipts. Is this it? God, I hope this one's it. Third try. All right. Is this it? Dog was on Kaylee's bed. Sliding door gets left open for dog. Right there, black and white, well, blue and white, in his notes. Provide info on autopsy findings. One victim mentioned a flash of light, broken sensi in the vacant room. Oh, and Dylan lied about that too. So lied about that. She said, oh, I should pull her interview again. She said in the interview, oh my God, let me go get it. It was with Gooch. Y'all aren't going to believe this shit. Oh, I'm going to get spicy. It was the interview with Gooch. I don't have this one queued up, so let me go grab it. I think it was her second or third. Let me see. All right, let me see if I can real quick because that's the easiest way to do it. All right. I think it was at her house. Which one was it? Sensi. She said, and I'm paraphrasing here, she said that, I don't know why I hit that. She said she could see in Xana's room because of Xana's sensi. Xana didn't have a sensi in her room, folks. The sensi was in the spare bedroom. And I caught that the other day and I thought, why was she still lying? This was the second or the third interview. I'm going to go find it for you guys. Since we're going to do a live dig, we might as well do it right. So give me 1 second. She said that she saw the lights. Hold on a minute. I don't know why that put up there. She said she saw the lights. She saw Xana because of the lights in the room. And it was because of the Scentsy. There was no Scentsy in Xana's room. I looked throughout the entire crime scene photos a couple of days ago, and there was no Scentsy. Okay? I'll share real quick. Might be graphic to some, so just be careful. I'm going to give you a warning real clearly. I looked all over this room. There was no Scentsy. So if somebody, I'm going to put a call out there. If someone finds the Scentsy, let me know, because she said she saw inside Xana's room when going past the hallway. She said that she saw the lights on in Xana's room and the Scentsy. She said that there was a Scentsy, and I know that in the downstairs empty room there is a broken Scentsy that somebody had to have cleaned up. But she clearly said, and I'm going to find it for you, she said that she can see inside Xana's room because she had a Scentsy. I've looked all over this freaking crime scene. The only Scentsy I've ever seen in that house was in the living room and in the spare bedroom. I did not see one in Xana's room. So there's a call out to any creator, any eagle eye, any nester. If you see a Scentsy in Xana's room, because if Dylan had to walk by, that Scentsy right here would have been seen directly against us. And these were all candles. That is not a Scentsy. Those were all candles. I know what a Scentsy is. Scentsy's headquarters are right in Meridian. And that, by the way, is Xana's laptop. And she's got a pink. That's a rose gold, right? So they all had similar laptops. Xana, Maddie, and Kaylee. And where did they get those from? Those aren't cheap, folks. Those aren't cheap. Especially in 2022. Especially during COVID. Where did they all get the same kind of laptop? Interesting. I just thought about that. They all had rose gold apples. Books. I mean, come on. I don't think as a college student I can even afford them if I was working. You know, you live paycheck to paycheck pretty much in college until you get your student funding or whatever. And these are really graphic, guys. I looked all around this room looking for a Scentsy, folks. No freaking Scentsy. I hope somebody is on it right now looking for Dylan's statement about the Scentsy. I heard it and it just threw me for a loop. But she sure had her passwords right there that somebody could get into. No freaking Scentsy. Nothing. So, nope. Nothing. Nothing. There was a Scentsy over here, but it got moved. It's in their Christmas video. So if she was walking down this way, where's the Scentsy? If these little lights were on up here, the little twinkle fairy lights were on, which it was. And mind you, if you look through these crime scene photos, the light switch was on. The light switch was on. I don't know if it was when the investigators walked in. They didn't put anything in their notes. This light switch is on. It is in the on position. On position. I don't know if it was when the attacks occurred, but that light switch was on in the on position. I doubt, because they don't show us in the actual body cam footage when they walk into the room if the light switch was on. But this light switch was on. All right. So I went through the entire thing. No Scentsy. If somebody finds one, let me know. I looked all over, everywhere. That is the L3 imprint of somebody's jeans. That was said to be fabric. Somebody's jeans, fabric. No Scentsy. Only in the spare bedroom do we see a broken Scentsy. And I'll run to that real quick. I think you've all have seen that picture. I'm going through these pretty fast. Don't get dizzy. Let me just go and pick up bedroom 5. Bedroom 4. This is bedroom 4 with the broken Scentsy. And we've all seen that. So let me Let's listen to the rest of this video from Steve G and Christy. There is the broken Sensi. And then I will go ahead and find Dylan's statement so you guys can hear it for yourself.
We're working with them. We're not selling them out. We love our law support.
The FBI, everybody that's here, we just have no information as family, and it gets tough day after day after day. I mean, every day you just wake up and think today's the day. We're going to hear something, and you see these, oh, there's a break in the case, and it'll just be something stupid.
The sixth person on the lease that was never there. Stop playing games. This is of this community. There's going to be 10,000, 15,000 kids that come into this community next year, or they don't. So I'm serious.
I had the opportunity to speak to some of my sources, and I've been told that there were differences in the way that the victims were killed. Some were more severe than the other. And this week we heard the target attack walk back and then reverse it back to it being a target attack. What can you tell us about the targeted attack?
They have told us that it was targeted, but they told us they can't tell who. We asked specifically, and they said, we'll try to get that information to you. And they got back to us a day or so later, and they said, we're sorry, we can't give you that information. But then a day later, we saw in the news that it was not targeted, or they think the whole house was targeted. But
I'll cut to the chase.
Yeah.
Their means of death don't match.
Maddie's
They don't.
and Kaylee's cause of death, it does not match based on the autopsy report.
They don't match.
Would indicate that one of them.
He doesn't have to
may
go
been
up the
the target.
steps. Let's stop playing games, guys. I need somebody to step up and be an alpha. Be somebody to be a leader. Don't make me do it. I don't want to do it. He doesn't have to go up the steps.
He didn't have to go up the steps. What do you think he meant by that? Did Kaylee run and try to hide? I mean, obviously her phone and the vape was found underneath Maddie's bed. Was she hiding under Maddie's bed? Do you guys think that that's possible? Do you think Maddie was hiding under, do you think Kaylee was hiding under Maddie's bed? Drop a 1 for yes. 2 for no. Let's just do a poll. I want to see if we are all on the same page here with the information we've been given, with some of the information I just shared with you about the third floor landing stairs. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Was Kaylee hiding under Maddie's bed? Her cell phone was found under Maddie's bed, and the vape was found under Maddie's bed. She was already hurt running up the stairs. Well, Gunderson said there was cast off right there, too. It looks like cast off. I'm sure Gunderson has been to enough crime scenes where he could say that. Do you think Kaylee was hiding under Maddie's bed? You don't think that somebody could have went and grabbed her and pulled her out of there? Is that possible? She witnessed what happened to Ethan, Xana, and Maddie, and she ran to go hide. A lot of you were saying no. Do you think Kaylee was hiding under Maddie's bed? No. Gunderson, Ted Gunderson. Well, a lot of you don't think that she was. How did her phone in the vape get under Maddie's bed? How did the phone and the vape get under Maddie's bed? Think about that for a second. If Kaylee witnessed everything that was going on, I think they landed there during something. Your phone doesn't magically just fall out of your pocket and be underneath the bed, and the vape underneath the bed. All right, so the majority of you think that Kaylee was not hiding under Maddie's bed. That's interesting. But how did her personal items get there? How did underneath Maddie's bed, how did Kaylee's phone and the vape get there? A struggle? Could throw things under the bed? Dropped it? Everything was placed there. There wasn't enough blood in this crime scene. You guys think it was placed there? Let's listen to the rest of what he says. Let me think about that.
Their points of damage don't match. I'm just gonna say it. It wasn't leaked to me. I earned that. I paid for that funeral. I paid for that. It's my right. You ain't taking that from me.
Calm down.
If you don't want to say nothing, that's your bet. But don't say I'm leaking anything. I paid that bill. Sent my daughter to college to get an education. She came back in the box, and I can speak on that.
I was also told from sources that are closer to an investigation, because there was a lot of roommates in there. And this was horrific for those roommates that were there as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
The preservation of this crime scene. Witnesses tell me that it may have well been preserved because the phone.
But think about this, Lavina. She's not going to hide and not hide Maddie too. That's not her. I agree. But I believe that Maddie was outside, and I believe that Kaylee could have ran inside. So if Maddie was outside, the debris on her legs and the debris on her pillow have to be the leaves. That's what the debris was that they tested presumptive for blood. So that had to have happened outside, clearly outside. If there was debris brought inside, if that was debris in Maddie's hair and they're not saying it, they're just saying it was on the pillow and on her left leg, that debris had to come from somewhere outside. For her, obviously, it was adhered to her, stuck to her. Presumpted with blood means that perhaps there was blood on her leg and there was the leaf, the debris. So I don't think that they were even together at the time. I don't think they were together at the time. And let me explain to you why. Maddie went to go look for Kaylee's dog, Murphy. And what do you see in Maddie's bedroom on the nightstand? Maddie's phone. That's Maddie's phone, guys. Kaylee's phone was found under the bed and with the vape. Don't you think if I was in that room trapped, I would use Maddie's phone too to call someone for help, to keep it in the grief life system that I trusted? I would definitely be calling JD. But allegedly, JD was asleep. JD had missed calls from Kaylee and Maddie, and there is Maddie's phone. And Kaylee's phone was found under the bed. Just a thought. Just a wild, random thought. If Maddie was outside, you don't see much activity on Maddie's phone except for JD being called 3 times. You don't hear that. And keep in mind, like I said the other day, the G's never got Kaylee's phone back because it's evidence. Did she record everything that was going on? Did she take pictures? Do the cops have the evidence? Possible. Now, this is huge. I mean, obviously, we know that it was Hunter that was the phone. Bethany initiated the 911 call, and the phone was passed around. Let me put this
that
on
are
the
closer
stage.
to an investigation, because there was a lot of roommates in there. And this was for those roommates that were there as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
The preservation of this crime scene. Witnesses tell me that it may have well been preserved because the phone was passed around between one of the fraternity members and the girls. One of them.
Now, keep in mind, he's talking about the 911 call, but Ink Mama, asleep and having a 17-minute call at the same time, make it make sense. I talked about this before. If he came back at 1:05, like he told the detectives, JD said, and he came back from the bar, had a few drinks, got back with his buddies, in 20 minutes pounded out some more drinks and went to bed at 1:30, he was snuckered. There was someone that was invited and stayed the night at 1127, folks. JD said it in his interview. I was going to save it for another stream, but I might as well say it now. Who was the individual that was visiting? Who was the friend that was visiting? Who do you all think was visiting over with Adam Lauda? Is Gideon Lauda related to Adam Lauda? Has anybody been able to confirm this? Has anyone been able to go down that rabbit hole? I'm curious because no one wants to admit who Dylan was with. No one wants to say. In the book, it mentions Gideon. Chris Wickham couldn't explain who Gideon was. Remember, this book is continuing the narrative. This book wants you to think everyone was killed in their beds. Think about this. We've done live digs. Everything has been scrubbed. Believe me, I have tried to find connections. I got a name this morning that's really important. I'm going to research that name. Guys, I've got so much stuff. I can't even fit it into my entire week. I've got enough stuff for content forever. Okay? But let me just say, listen to what Steve G says next. It's going to blow your mind.
Unfortunately witnessed the death, the body there. Can you confirm that?
Oh, we cannot actually. We know nothing about that whole phone call. We've asked, and it's, I mean, I know that a lot of people want to know, but that's just not our agenda. We just are like, somebody called 911, somebody was reported unconscious. We don't really know. I mean, we've heard so many different things, and nothing has been clarified or been told to us at all. And I mean, I don't know if I personally have asked anything about that. I don't know if you have asked that, but we know that this is getting 3 weeks in, and it's starting to get, we don't want it to go cold. We're reaching out to friends down there that have connections that we're hoping to raise some money to get a reward, to get a private investigator.
Third party.
Why go the private route? Do y'all worry that at the end of this week that this case may be
100%.
cold?
We're scared.
When you tell me you don't want a photo up there with the reward offering information, that kind of sounds like you're trying to like suppress the story. I mean, why do you not need help? But hey, I could be wrong, and you officers, I apologize if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I want to.
absolutely.
Please forgive me. Please forgive me. But if you don't have the information, people do know. If they don't, then you
Give
know
us
the
something.
community. This is a community that is IT based. These guys live a digital.
Okay, why would a 30-something-year, 40-year-old guy be hanging out with Dylan in the frat? All right? In order to get in the frat, you have to be a frat or a sorority sister or whatever you want to call them. Okay? And I believe that this is true. Chris is a spokesperson, not a whistleblower. I believe he is continuing on with the narrative, giving us informations and facts, but continuing on with a narrative. We all know they lied. Yeah. Okay, so let's listen to the rest of what he says. Listen. Pay close attention.
Footprint like we've never. All of us older.
He was already a frat. The visitor of Dylan The visitor, Gideon. If Gideon, okay, everyone's been telling me it's Gideon Amer. Now, I've looked up Gideon Amer. Yes, he did go to the University of Idaho for 1 year. Okay. I saw a video of him the other day, and he admits, and I'll even share the video with you guys. You know that I'm coming with receipts. I'm going to stop this video real quick. I'm going to share this video with you on who Gideon Amar is. Yes, he went to the University of Idaho. You can hear it right out of his own mouth. All right. Hold on 1 second. I want you to hear it.
58 with a low.
This is Gideon Amer, right?
Cover your tomatoes, or I guess you should have done it last night. Idaho fall stays cooler with a mix of clouds and sun. High near 54, low around 31. Sorry, your tomatoes are toast. The Camas Prairie remains the coldest spot. Scattered clouds. High near 51 and a frosty morning near 29 degrees. So we have Vocation Station with Ignite Young Adults, and they're right after this.
Christianity without compromise.
All right.
If you are looking for
Come on.
daily prayer for vocation,
Get into the interview.
Vocation Station. This
8. And for Vocation Station, we have really special guests. I want you to join us on YouTube, Salt Light Radio. I think it's 9579. Just search Salt and Light Radio on YouTube, and you will join us. We have Peter Masad and Gideon Amare, members of Ignite Young Adult Ministry. So, listeners, tell us a little bit about your journey of faith. We'll start with you, Gideon.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us on. My name is Gideon, and kind of my story and my background is I was born in a Pentecostal home. I'm Ethiopian, so our background is Oriental Orthodox, but my parents, when they came to the U.S., they kind of converted to, the Protestant church and became Pentecostal. I was raised in that, and as I got older, I started to get into apologetics a lot. And as I'm studying into apologetics, I started to delve into the early church and look at what the fathers taught and what the early church taught.
Okay, so that is Gideon Amer. He does have a digital footprint. He does have a LinkedIn. He does have a Instagram. And I've shared this with you before. If this is Gideon Amer, he was at the University of Idaho. He says it in his interview. You can go ahead and check that out. Very simple to find him. He's also on, I think, Facebook. He's on LinkedIn. Same guy, lives in Boise, from Kansas. Easy dude to find, easy truth to find. If this was Gideon and he was hanging out with, shoot, what happened to my screen? There's the LinkedIn. Well, somebody doesn't like us showing you the truth. Hold on a minute. Hold on. He was a Master of Philosophy, 2022 to 2026. Let's just see if this will pop up. Borrowed a vehicle. Chinese spy. Yeah, my CS is really my Xing spy. All right, hold on. Oh, come on, folks. Can you all hear me at least? Telling you, I had it out with my provider yesterday. Face plant. Someone doesn't want you all knowing the truth. Oh my gosh, but you can't see the screen. Is it still frozen? So he was there in November of 2022. Yeah, but so was somebody visiting Jack Decor and Adam Latta. They had a friend visiting. How ironic. You can hear me, but you can't see my screen. Okay, hold on. I dropped this. Let me see if I can get this one up here then. Honey, I have Starlink. I was on the phone with them forever. They actually gave me a live person. Boy, I complained, especially with their rates going up. Yeah, you got the winning. The wheel of life is spinning. Okay. So let's do this. While it's spinning and you can still hear me. Yeah, the Volkswagen was lent to Jack by the G family. Okay, so this is Gideon. I just showed you a couple of other options. His LinkedIn is here. You can see he was Master of Philosophy 2022 to 2026. And this is, hold on one second. This is the video we are watching. He tells you a little bit about himself. Hold on.
You know, over time, it became very apparent that the church that I was in, non-denominational, wasn't the
Let me play
church
this a little
that
faster.
was the true church, or the church that anything like the early church practice at all. So it took some time for sure. But as I'm leading in some of the non-denominational churches in the Valley and going to a bunch of their young adults group, I'm having some friends and having some conversation with some leaders in those churches, it became even more clear that it's just not the place that belongs for me. So then I joined OCIA, and I actually got confirmed on December 8th of this last year. So,
Congratulations.
yeah.
That's incredible. So what's your story?
My name is Peter Masad, and
Okay, and then he goes into Peter, and then he comes back and he says that he was in Idaho. Listen.
It's that little town. But,
all the U of I fans are sighing.
But
That's
it's,
okay. They
you know,
know. They know.
It's a great school. They're very, very great.
I know this is a process. It wasn't like just
Back, you know, it's kind of.
Okay, here we go.
Life.
Yeah, so I was I went to Moscow U of I for about a year, and then when I came back, I decided I didn't really want to go back. You know, it's kind of depressing up there.
He only went to the U of I for a year, so that was 2022.
It's just a sad little town. But
all the U of I fans are sighing.
But
That's
it's,
okay. They
you know,
know.
It's a great school. They're very, very great people. But I decided to come down here and start getting more back involved in my faith and getting close to my faith. So then I started doing sales, and while I was doing sales, it was a great opportunity, and also opened up a lot of time for me to be able to study more and dive more into my faith, join community groups. And it was through those community groups that I created a passion in my heart to get deep into my faith. And then that's what kind of led me into.
Okay. So maybe we should segue right into the community groups.
Okay, so that is Gideon Amer. Okay, so yes, he was there around the same time, but listen to what Steve G says about the killer, whoever, how you want to say this, because we know that there could have been more than one perp now with all the details that have been coming out for the last, I don't know, couple weeks. And then I did find the video with Dylan that we will watch, what I told you about the Sensi.
Know how much that digital footprint could be helpful. So that's what we asked for. I hope like a DNA, family lineage, if they could come out here and just start taking, this town is not that big. We could figure out this, and it might not be him. It might be a family member. We have family all going to the school together. You know, there's cousins, there's aunts, there's uncles with volunteers.
Lineage companies were, yeah.
Put Idaho on the map.
Cousins, friendly, family, friends. Did you hear that?
Community that is IT based. These guys live a digital footprint like we've never. All of us older people, we don't know how much that digital footprint could be helpful. So that's what we asked for. I hope like a DNA, family lineage, if they could come out here and just start taking, this town is not that big. We could this, and it might not be him. It might be a family member.
It might not be him. It might be a family member. Who is he talking about?
We have family all going to the school together. You know, there's cousins, there's aunts, there's uncles. We could find this guy just with volunteers.
Lineage companies were, yeah.
Put Idaho on the map.
This was December 4th, 2022. This interview took place.
Christy, Steve, we're going to stay on this case.
Thank you.
We're not going anywhere.
Thank you.
You guys have been candid with us.
That's what they said. Now, let's move backwards in regards to the Sensi with Dylan. Let's go back for a moment and let's go see what Dylan said about seeing Xana. This is the 11/17 full video. Let me put this up here. And listen to what she told the investigators about seeing Xana.
She heard like I don't know what she heard, and something about like a light. I guess you talked to her. I don't fully know. I didn't understand it. I was out of it, obviously, probably still tipsy and just woke up. I thought she meant someone threw fireworks in her house, which didn't make any sense. So after that, I called Xana at 4:20 a.m. And then next, I called Kaylee as well as at 4:20 a.m.
And what, did you leave a message or anything?
No. And then I called again at 4:20. I don't really know why. Then I called Maddie at 4:21. Then Maddie at then Kaylee at 4:27.
So you never left your room?
So after I heard Kaylee say that, from what I can remember is I opened the door, and I do remember like looking up the stairs and then looking to the side, and I could kind of see the living room, but not fully. And I just remember like seeing nothing. So I slept through the door and locked it because I was freaking out. Like I didn't know if there was a guy there. I don't know if anything was there or not. Like I don't know.
I didn't know if a guy was there.
I opened the door again. Again, I don't know if this was real or if my mind was just like playing with me. But from what I think I heard was someone was crying in the bathroom. And I think it was Kaylee. But I don't know. I couldn't tell. And I just...
In the bathroom upstairs from her? That would make sense if she could hear better upstairs. The bathroom was right above Dylan.
Which bathroom?
The one me and Xana share on the second floor.
So the second time you opened your door?
Yeah. And again, I don't know for sure if this is in the bathroom, just like happened from what I think I heard and all that. And then from after like the crying, I think I heard someone, like this guy's voice I had never heard in my life, just saying like, no, like it's okay, I'm gonna help you. But it wasn't in this nice way, like it was a weird, creepy way from what I think I remembered. And I'm pretty, again, I don't know anything for sure. I think I called out for Kaylee and Xana because it was the second floor, and I was just like, Kaylee, Xana. And so if someone was there, they would have heard me. And I don't know.
So when you heard his voice, where would he have been when you heard it?
I think the bathroom. I don't know for sure. It could have been. It just seemed too distant from the living room. So I just in my mind just suggested, okay, bathroom. That's what I think I hear. Like I think it's bathroom.
And what was it again? He said, I'm sorry.
He said, no. She said, it's okay. I'm gonna help you. I think that's what he said. Again, everything's kind of fuzzy still. I don't fully remember.
Was it directed at you?
No. I think what he was saying that to was whoever was crying in the bathroom. And I from what I think I remember, it was a male voice.
And what did you think? What were you thinking at this time?
I don't even know what I was thinking. I was just like, what in the world is going on? Like, who is that? Like, are they talking to the girl crying? Like, I don't.
And you thought the girl might be Kaylee.
Yeah, that's what I think I thought.
But you're only thinking that because of the position of the bathroom in their bedrooms, but you don't know that it's Kaylee.
Yeah, I have no idea if it's Kaylee. I have no clue at all. That's just what I'm thinking at that moment. Is like, I just thought it was Kaylee, but now I'm like, at that moment, what I thought.
What if it was Xana in that bathroom and they were trying to put Ethan back in the bed?
Now, after hearing more stuff and thinking more, it could have been Xana. But from
what
that
if it
moment,
was Xana?
I thought it was Kaylee.
It's more important. That's what I was going to tell you. It's more important because I know you've talked to. It sounds like from Dustin's interview.
Yeah.
Don't allow, if you can't, that information to influence what you knew at the time that we're asking you these things were happening, because we're trying to figure out who did this, and we can't have those influences drive our. We're trying to.
So like at that moment,
you thought it was Kaylee.
I thought it was Kaylee. I totally thought it was Kaylee.
Have you ever heard that male voice before?
No, I've never heard that in my entire life. It was not Ethan's voice whatsoever. I know Ethan's voice, and it was not Ethan's voice at all.
And the tone of the voice, what did it sound like?
It was like almost like a sorry but like creepy tone. I don't really know how to explain a voice. I guess it's kind of hard to explain, but
a creepy tone. Let me find where she talks about the light and seeing Xana. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me find this for us because I don't want to be here all day rehashing her interview because it's wild. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, here it is. Let's get this back up here.
She heard like I don't know what she heard, and something about like.
Wait, that's not. Let me go back to the transcript. Um, let's see if this is.
Think that at all. I didn't think anything was wrong at all. So then I stopped for a second, look at her, like, okay, she's fine. Like, she's just asleep. Like,
is her bedroom light on?
I think so. Again, I don't know for sure. Everything's.
How far is Zaina from you when you first see her? What's the
I
distance?
guess if like I'm right here, it's like behind that window from where I am. Like it's pretty long hallway, I would say.
Is her bedroom at the end of the hallway?
Yes, the very end of the hallway, and like I couldn't see much. I guess like I could just see her. I could see the top of her head because obviously her head is a lot higher than everything else, and I could see her legs a little bit, and that was it. I didn't see anything else. I didn't see anything wrong. Like it just looked like a room. Like yeah, she was drunk, probably messed it up a little bit. It didn't look, from what I think I saw, it didn't look super messy at all. Like it just looked like there was a few clothes. You know, that's normal for all college girls. Like it's normal.
So this distance you're talking about, would you have been able to see her if the lights were out?
Probably not.
So some light had to have been on.
I think so. That's what I'm thinking.
Do you guys have night lights in your
No,
house?
I don't. I
So
mean,
nothing
I
would be running
don't.
along?
I mean, we have this. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that because we have like little twinkle lights that go around, like
decorative.
Yeah, so I guess that could have been it. Maybe there was just decorative lights, and that's how I saw Xana. I don't know. And we have this little Scentsy thing. I don't know if it's
there
on.
It is.
We're pretty good at turning it on and off, so it's not like going on through all night, but it does have a light. I don't know if that was on.
Where's the Scentsy light on normally? Where's it located? I'm sorry.
So from my room, you first walk into the living room. There's like. So they're like, let's say this is the door to the living room. Right to your left is this bar cart with like some alcohol and like some decorative stuff. Right to your right, there's this little table that has drawers, and that's where the little Scentsy thing is. And then the couch.
Would you have been able to see Xana with that light from the living room?
I don't think so.
This is important because in our world, for an offender to leave lights on a house, you increase the risk of identification. They would rather the lights not be on. So it's important that we get this straight.
I mean, I think Xana's lights were on.
There's no way you could have seen her otherwise, though, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to plant a seed.
Yeah, I know.
But think about where you're at when you see her. If all the lights are off, you wouldn't have been able to see her normally?
Well, I mean, we have so many twinkle lights, so I might be able to. I have no clue.
No, that's again. I'm not suggesting you should tell me something you do not know.
Yeah, I don't know if her lights were on or not. I have no clue at all.
But you could see her.
I could see her. I know that I could see her.
And which way is she facing? Which way is her head facing?
So like, let's say like that couch is the back of her wall. That's where her head is, and her legs are towards like forward towards me.
And then what is she wearing?
I don't know what her shirt is. I can just see her wearing underwear, and that was normal. Like. She was really comfortable with us. She would wear just underwear around the house, and that was fine.
Did you call out her name?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I did. I thought she was maybe just asleep, so I don't want to wake her up. And then I like ran down to bed.
Okay, so I was wrong. She said it was in the living room. So we went through these pictures before to look for, I think, the Scentsy in the living room. But the Scentsy was downstairs in the empty room, broken right there. So which part of the story is true? That she saw Xana in what she was wearing, because obviously the next day she goes up and she sees her again, perhaps with Hunter and Emily and everyone else. But the Scentsy is right here in the bottom floor spare bedroom. Now, I don't know what to make of this, but yes, the twinkle lights were on in Xana's room. I just showed you those lights. There's the twinkle lights on. The light switch was on in these investigators' pictures. The light switch is definitely on. So were all the lights on, or were just some of the lights on? Now, I thought she was talking about a Scentsy in Xana's room. No, it was in the original pictures. And there was a Scentsy in the front room in Kaylee's video. Hold on one second. Let me see. But there wasn't one in the front room in any of the profile in the hold on a minute. Let me look. It was this video on Kaylee's TikTok.
Guys, smells like dirty dick in here. Murphy, you've been a bad boy.
There is a Scentsy here.
Guys,
There's a Scentsy right there. There's a Scentsy right there. Is that the same one that we see in the crime scene photos in the bottom room?
guys, I'm fucking late for my.
Is that the one that got broke and they put it in the bottom room? Is that possible? They put it in the room itself? Goot said it's important to get it straight, and Dylan plays dumber. Ah, maybe it was. Let me go back to the original crime scene photos in the first photo dump 1. Because it is definitely not in photo dump 4, except for now it's in the spare bedroom. Yeah, it's in the spare bedroom. But was that the same Scentsy that was in the living room Christmas? Or whenever that was posted. It looks like the same one. Let me just do a comparison. And let me go back to the original photos they released. I think it was photo 1 drop. I don't think a Scentsy was on the table. Let me look at the photos. Hold on. Photo 1 drop. ISP photos. This was 2. Let me go back. This is the very first photo dump. Let me see if I can see anything on this table. It's not there. Unless it's covered, but I don't see it on the table. There's the chips. And this is the picture that I've been talking about. There is blood right here. I'm going to blow this picture up for you, and I'm going to put it in the chat. I'm going to let you see there is blood on this outlet, the extension cord outlet. Something that I noticed the other day. And I'll pop it in here on the screen. Right here on this electrical cord outlet, there looks to be, it looks like blood to me. I noticed that the other day. I don't know. Is it ketchup? Could be. I don't know. I mean, they were eating chips there, but look, I'll show you the original picture. That's the blown up picture right there. And here is the original picture. I have not touched anything. I'll zoom in a little bit more and see that looks like blood to me. I don't know if y'all can see this. Let me make this larger and let me take this off. Right there on the cord, the extension cord. Looks like a big drip of blood to me. I mean, does it? I've noticed the outlet also. Okay, cool. I'm not the only one yeah. I'm not the only one that notices these types of things. It's not like I've got my magnifying glass and I'm looking all over, but to me, that looked like blood right there. It did. So I just wanted to point that out since I was going through these pictures, but I don't see any Scentsy except for this one on the bar cart. That's a candle. That's a candle on the bar cart. Believe me, I know the difference. Trust me. I don't see any other Scentsy anywhere else in this house except for there, and now it's broken in the spare bedroom. All right, so those are all the pictures. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. I mean, all these little things that we notice, and oh my gosh, I'm so busy looking around. And KS Jensen Art, thank you. My hubby and I fell. He broke his leg and 2 toes. So I'm hit and miss in chat this week. Oh my gosh. So glad I got to catch you today. I am praying for a quick recovery, girl. Holy moly. And some of your artwork is so beautiful. If you've not been able to see KS Jensen's art, go to her page. She is so talented and gifted. Absolutely amazing. And she gave 10 gift memberships today. Thank you so much, KS Jensen Art. You are absolutely beautiful. I appreciate that. We all appreciate that. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You're both dealing with it. I hope you have somebody to help you during that recovery. I can't imagine having to care for somebody while trying to take care of yourself. Yes. We all wish you speedy recovery for you and your husband. Yeah. We believe that. I believe there is another Scentsy on the table next to the couch. Well, I didn't see one. If you guys see another one, let me know. I looked on the bar cart. I looked in the living room. There is one in the living room by the couch. Okay, let me go back. I looked. I thought it was just a planter with a little leaf in there. These are the very first crime scene photos. Don't let me get you dizzy. Hold on. Let me go back to the kitchen. All right. I looked in the cubby here. That's a candle up there. That's a candle by the TV. I don't see anything on the table. That little thing, it looks like a little holder. Looks like a holder for a little plant. Maybe one of those little fake plants. I don't see anything else by the table unless it's at a different angle. Let me see if we can see a different angle. Oh, there's something here too. So there is something plugged in right here. There's a little plant holder and a different angle. You can see another, what looks to be like a little Scentsy. You guys are spot on. Woo, I'm glad you guys got eagle eyes. Good job. Well, there solves that one. Right by the couch, rear end of the table. Got it. They might have one in the kitchen too. Picture 403. All right. This one only goes to 382. So this was the very first set of pictures that was released. But yes, here is another better picture right here, right on the end. It does look like a Scentsy. Absolutely. All right. Solves that one. And it looks like maybe it was plugged in. So is that maybe candle wax on the electrical outlet and not blood? Is that possible that candle wax fell on the outlet? Batch 4, page 403. Okay, let me go back to 403. 403. Let me go back to 403. Ah, you guys are, look at that. 403. Let me go back. 403 right here. Yep. Is that what that could possibly be on the outlet? There's more debris on the stairs. And do you know, as a matter of fact, all this on the stairs was noted to be possible blood in the forensics documents on the stairs, folks. On the stairs. Yep, I'll bring that to you also. Let me just take a look. Maybe it was indeed wax. Does anybody see any wax spilt? I don't see any wax. Maybe it was wax if it was tipped over. I don't know. I'll have to go through all these over again. Every time I go through them, I see something new. They had markers down here on the floor, markers there, pink markers, Post-it notes. That whole wall looks like it broke. Somebody shoved up against it, maybe. Who knows? This case, it just keeps on giving. Every single day keeps on giving. Wild. Absolutely wild. That's the side view of the splatter running down. So what do you guys, let me ask you this before we go, because I want to make sure, I mean, we went to a tangent on something different. If you had a best friend, a roommate in college, would you randomly end up sleeping in each other's room sometimes? I mean, I did in high school, right? And then military. But would you randomly just end up in your friend's bed? I think that's the narrative they were selling. And I keep thinking about this screen grab, this picture with Maddie's phone, knowing they were both in this room at one point. Not in college. Yeah, not in college. I mean, I'm probably at that age, I didn't want anybody in my bed. I just want my bed. I want to go to sleep. I want to relax, you know, especially that tiny bed. That wouldn't make sense. It would make more sense if Maddie went to go sleep in Kaylee's bed because Kaylee's bed is much bigger than Maddie's bed, right? I mean, that would make more sense. But seeing that Maddie's phone was near her bed and Kaylee's phone was found under Maddie's bed makes me think that maybe Kaylee used Maddie's phone to try to get in touch with JD. That's just my opinion. Totally my own opinion. And looking at these, photos and these pictures and the evidence and reading all this, another thing people debate heavily is all the timing, the timeline. Remember, what I showed you today was the hallway areas, the landing areas, the stairway photographs, multiple directional views. That means investigators were analyzing all the movements, all the patterns, the whole pathway. And many people ask online, did the killer enter directly into Maddie's room? Kaylee had to have heard it. If Kaylee was in the house, she had to have heard it. But if she wasn't in the house and she was away and then came in the house, that would make sense. Because there's no explanation why there is staining outside of the rooms. Now, let me ask you this. Two best friends late at night talking, laughing, falling asleep together. But we know that's not the case. They changed and something happened between the time they changed and when they found them the next day. We don't know the sequence of events. The killer may have gone into Maddie's room intentionally. I don't think so. When Steve G says he didn't have to go up the stairs. They were all a target. This whole entire house was a target. These kids were not like the other kids. That's the only thing in the common denominator, is that they weren't. Remember, this community shows up for one reason, and that's to find the truth. We challenge the narratives. We demand the clarity. We don't stop asking questions. If you tuned in today to listen to Didn't Have to Go Up the Stairs, this was huge. Now, let me ask you this before we go. This diluted blood, I'm sure you guys have heard every single theory about the diluted blood. Your theory is on all this diluted blood. Was it from a mop? Was it from cleaning? Was it from wiping down? Condensation? The door being left open overnight? What do you all think about diluted blood? All this diluted blood everywhere. It's on the ceiling in front of Dylan's door. You can see the wire. Oh, interesting. What do y'all think about this diluted blood? Spoil your dogs. Yeah, the dogs sleep with you. I had to share a bed with two sisters and no, never sharing a bed again. I believe that, Lulu Bell. The wax could be any color. Kaylee's comforter was pulled back like she had been sleeping in there. I didn't see a picture of that. I don't know. Kaylee had her own large, big, comfortable bed. Clean. I'm telling you. I have a print of this image, but I need to find it. So let's hear your theory on all this diluted blood. I'm curious to see what you have to say. If Steve G thought this was about Ethan, a fight in street Xana, then he may have said you didn't have to go upstairs. Yeah, I agree. Stage, not by choice, of the young lady's level of humiliation, a ritual. I shed a bed with two of my girlfriends. Now one is my sister-in-law. I love it. I lived in a boarding school as a teenager. Oh my gosh. Kaylee's injury seems like she was a target. Absolutely agree, Phoenix. Everyone who ended up murder, I believe, was silenced. Yeah. Les says we would sneak into each other's room at night and smoke. Oh my gosh. I have to tell you about a story Oh my goodness, Les. I got caught. It wasn't me that was smoking, and I will take this to my grave. It was my friend from school. I invited her over for a sleepover. My mom caught us smoking, and she made us sit in the kitchen and smoke, and it was horrible. I wasn't the one smoking, but I got in trouble and had to smoke. Oh my God. My mom was like, "You guys want to smoke? You're going to smoke with me." And my mom was not a smoker. She made us smoke almost the whole pack. I was so deathly ill. I'll tell you, never smoked. I never will touch a cigarette. No, ma'am. Oh my gosh. Okay, so people are saying condensation 100% for me. Clean up, clean up. I can only relate to my own experience. Looks like a solution was used with a faint blue tint to me. Windex? Senior Wazowski says, Maddie room had a window with access to the same deck as the slider. Absolutely. They could have went right through the sliding door if that sliding door was unlocked for the dog, as the detective's notes state. Set decorations not authentic in volume. Okay. There is a picture on the floor. Yeah. Added condensation was mopping the floor whose wall had been sweating, and heated cranked the door open. Timu cleanup. Murphy shaking after being bathed. I thought that too. I think the official cleaning team went in and could be early. Okay, if it was a professional cleaning team, they did a horrible job. Never hire them again. I'm just saying. They had to get a court order to stop them. So do you think that was these pictures were taken way before the official cleaning team came in? Way before. I wonder if it was a type of enzyme cleaner. Roid rage is nothing to mess with. I agree. Yes, Maddie's window at the top. Okay, so let's just take a look real quick. I want to respond to this one because I know that we've gone in lives, remember, a year ago almost, and the investigators' notes clearly told us what doors, what windows, everything that was unlocked. So, second floor windows, everyone was unlocked except for the spare bedroom. Second floor. I mean, the east bedroom. Everything was locked. Everything was unlocked except for the east bedroom, second floor. Third floor hallway window was locked. Windows with the AC, there was nothing in that space. It was it says bunked down by top of the air conditioner. West bedroom sliding glass was unlocked. Evidence tape locked and checked. Bedroom was unlocked. Third bedroom, east bedroom was unlocked. All right. So, yes, Maddie's was unlocked. Maddie window open to the top deck as well as the slider. And the first floor windows, west bedroom was unlocked. East bedroom was locked. So the spare bedroom was locked. And west, wait a minute, hold on. North, south, east, west. First floor, west bedroom was unlocked. That was Bethany's. East bedroom was locked, and that was the spare bedroom. So Bethany's window, is that correct? Am I reading this right? I just want to make sure. Sometimes I can get my north, south, east, west off direction. This was on 11/18. This is what they noted in no prints in snow on deck. Nobody came that way. Who was selling nudes? What? What? Jack offered money to sell? No, that's not what he said. He said, oh my word, you guys, stop with the rumors. Let's get it right. We can hear it in his own words. He had some fake account message him and asked him to sell Kaylee's nudes. That's what happened. Oh my gosh. We've got to get our facts straight, guys. He's on tape and he basically said, oh my goodness. Did I puke? Yeah, it was awful. It was awful. Yeah, they've got some connections. Yeah, I never smoked again. Never, ever. Nope, I didn't even smoke before, but I got blamed. I never invited that friend over again, by the way. She got me in mad trouble. So let's get back. Let's stay focused real quick. So some people are saying no snow that night. It didn't snow until later on. Some people are saying condensation. No trolling, people. No trolling. You must want to hear the music. Okay, no trolling, folks. Come on. We try to make it the safest in here as possible. So, what do you guys think that condensation on this wall could have been? All this dilution. People say cleaning. People say the windows, the condensation, the windows and the doors were open. Condensation. How about your mom is the goat? My mom is the goat. She is. You guys just don't know. I'll talk about her one day, and obviously, she is the goat. Why would the spare bedroom be unlocked? I don't know. Maybe something was going on in there. I don't know. It was the spur of the moment. Everybody had. Okay. Let me just say this. Our friend Gunderson from the video that I showed you the other day, if you weren't here, Gunderson again on Connor. Thank you. Shout out to Connor. Amazing repository for us. He basically says, Gunderson, his own words, says, I think there's blood in the sink. I'm not going to show you the clip. You can go find it and watch it or go back and play yesterday's live. Gunderson says, I think there's blood in the sink. All right. So what if somebody was in there, washed their hands, didn't dry them because there was nothing to dry them with, and they ran out down the stairs with their hands soaked in water and soap and blood, and all that shaking of their hands is on the diluted walls. Is that a possibility? If they were in a hurry to get out of there and they had nothing to wipe their hands with, maybe they were shaking them on the way out the door. Perps could have cleaned up themselves. That bad cleaners. Extra party room. Yep. That's just a speculation. Totally speculation. Or it could have been Murphy shaking. Could have been anything. I mean, maybe Murphy shaking in the middle of the room and then they had to go back and they were like, forget it, we're done. I'm getting some sleep. Yeah, I mean, it was just a possibility. But, in this case, we're always seeing something new. I'm going to be on the lookout for JD's part 2 interview over on Jules. If you didn't see that interview, wow, that was a cliffhanger. We are still waiting. Oh, wait. If you guys want to stick around a little longer, someone said that she's streaming it now. What? She's got a new premiere going right now. Jump over to Wow. Go run over there. She's not live, but she's got a premiere going. Or we can stay here. Hold on.
Got him.
Part 2.
Got video on your phone that you got from the neighbor's ring that shows him coming and dropping them off at what time?
I have screenshots. Who's the neighbor?
went to high school with her, so did Kaylee and Maddie.
Now, I don't know how long this is, but you guys, I've got stuff to do. I'll listen to this. Go over there and watch it on Jules. Give her some love. She is amazing. And she's looking for the truth just as much as anyone else is. So I appreciate everyone being here. Part 2 is probably going to be really good. Now, I do know that there was something with Jack saying that someone had messaged him and asking to sell Kaylee's nudes. So yeah, it's crazy. You guys all have a fabulous weekend. I will be back Monday morning doing a special Memorial Day live at 11, at 9:11. And I will see you guys then. Have a great, fabulous weekend. And thank you once again to KS Jensen Art. You are amazing. And if you were gifted one of those 10 memberships, thank KS Jensen Art, because we are going to get into the finale for the Broken Plea book with Christopher Whitcomb on Tuesday. And then right after that, we're going to start Among the Bros, a frat crime story. Absolutely amazing. Y'all be well. See you around.
Standing tall.